Okay, before starting it off, I have to mention that since we have participants from very different communities, so we have the community of fashion AI, we have contemporary jewelry community, and also digital native designers. We would like to note what exactly will be helpful from each community that they will gain from this workshop. So people who are already professionals in AI and also digital tools will gain a little bit more perspective about contemporary jewelry, what it is, what are the principles, what features should be included in the final result in order to be considered as a contemporary jewelry piece. The rest of the participants from contemporary jewelry community who are already familiar with the roots of contemporary jewelry will learn the basics of how to use Midjourney to eventually include it in their design process. So these are the topics. I don't know if we have the okay.
I think I'm having an issue. Can you see it well? I don't know if you
We're
can.
still on the first page. If you can,
What are you seeing? Because I can find my,
okay, double click on your Zoom. You will be able to see your full screen again.
I am actually stop the video. No, you sure? Okay. So you are seeing because I am
Yeah,
the,
we're watching like the first page and also the other pages on the left side of it.
okay. So, right sidebar. So
Perfect.
now you are just seeing the presentation.
Yes. It's not only the presentation, but it's at least one page, so no distractions. We can keep it this way.
Ah, well, what's the issue? I don't know.
Do you want to go left and right just to see if you can flick to the next page? Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we
Good.
got it.
But is it full screen for everybody?
Uh yeah, we
If
can see the
Is it
whole
readable?
screen of yours, but
yes,
it's
yes.
okay. All
Okay.
right.
So let me try this and
Okay, now we got it.
last.
A
Okay.
little bit zoom it out.
Is it okay now?
No, because the layout is somehow quite strange.
Now
No,
for me
You
it's
have to
fine
zoom
now.
it out.
now for me it's full actually.
Good. Yep.
Okay, good. So we have it.
Okay.
Okay. If you can see, if you can go to the next page.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so these are the topics that we will cover today in a very limited time, of course. First, we will go through what contemporary jewelry is and what makes it valuable, which I think is more interesting for people who are already professionals in AI tools. Then we move on to AI tools, what is Midjourney, what a prompt is, the features of a good prompt in design in general, then specifically in contemporary jewelry. And after we finish, of course, we will give you a brief step-by-step guide on basics of Midjourney, like what each tool does, which is more useful for people who are joining from contemporary jewelry community and have never used Midjourney before. So we're gonna start from scratch. And at the end of the workshop, we will also talk a little bit about like where in your design process you can actually use AI. And so we tell you also a little bit about the contest that is essentially the purpose of this workshop. And that's it. Now I guess we can start off by talking a little bit about contemporary jewelry, which So again will cover for you because obviously it's her area of expertise.
Yeah, thank you. It's the fun part actually. um okay, let's say start. Defining contemporary jewelry is like defining contemporary art. As we know, defining art in general is not something that has a clear explanation. So here in the slide, you can see three different opinions from three different experts in the fashion and jewelry field about contemporary jewelry. They all are agree on some points, but they have different opinions about the rest. We can see what they have in common, like they think contemporary jewelry is like a voice for artists that let them express themselves and be creative. It's like wearing a piece of art, let's say. And they also agree that contemporary jewelry is not afraid to be different and challenges the usual rules. In contemporary jewelry, you can use unusual shape, textures, materials, whatever you don't use normally in traditional jewelry. We can also say that another thing in common is contemporary jewelry is kind of a combination of old and new. We normally mix traditional techniques with modern method and technology in contemporary jewelry. But there are also some differences. Let's take a look at differences of these opinions. Like I believe that contemporary jewelry can have message and emotion. It's not just about aesthetic, it can also evoke feelings when you wear it. But Nastan thinks that contemporary jewelry evolves with the time. It adapts to the present and doesn't stick to old perspectives. Instead, Toktam, or another jury, which is a critic of jewelry design, sees contemporary jewelry as a mixture of art and jewelry, which can help to move away from the traditional norms of beauty and value. So, who do you think it's right? Actually, we all are. All of us agree that contemporary jewelry is about being creative and different. So basically, it's a tool for artists to express themselves. And in this way, jewelry becomes more than just an ornament. But we also have our own personal perspective on what makes contemporary jewelry special. One of us emphasize more on messages and emotions. The other one focus on adaptability to the times. And what is important for the third one is the fact that it goes against the rules of the traditional jewelry. So we are all correct because in the end, it is very personal. Let's go deeper why and explain you more. Like one important thing to understand is contemporary art and contemporary jewelry is really going hand in hand. You see, contemporary art is all about making art in the present time. It started a long time ago when artists wanted to do things differently and have more fun with their art and break all the written rules. They didn't want to just check all the lists that, okay, you need to follow this to be an artist. They just wanted to be free and express themselves. They didn't want to stick to the old ways of doing things. So they started creating art that looked more unique and could express what they felt in the world around them in their time. They often challenged the traditional idea of what art should look like. This is really important. So I repeat, they often challenge the traditional ideas of what art should look like. And so contemporary jewelry is exactly like this. It is a special kind of art that you can wear. It's like having a piece of art with you all the time, and it's not like a traditional jewelry you see every day. It's made by artists who are experimenting this with new shapes, textures, materials, and ideas. We can say actually these artists want their jewelry to be interesting, to be challenging, and make you think more deeply about the concept, about what's happening around you rather than just looking pretty. Another cool thing about contemporary art and contemporary jewelry is that they keep changing and evolving. What we see as contemporary art or jewelry today might be different in 20 or 30 years because there will be always new ideas, new technologies, new ways to express your ideas. What I can add more? Sometimes contemporary jewelry even looks a little bit strange, unconventional, unusual, whatever you want to call it. but I think this is really makes it more interesting. It is a way for artists to show their ideas and feelings in a variable form. Like for me personally, each time I design something, it came from like deep, deep, deep inside me. Whatever I designed, whatever contest I participated, always had a connection with my past, with my feelings, even when I wasn't aware. It's like they are telling a story or sharing a message through the jewelry. And when you wear contemporary jewelry, it's like you are carrying that story of that person with you, and sometimes even you find a connection, like you understand that person, and in this way it makes you feel special and express your own personality and style too. uh, Talking actually a couple days ago I was talking with Tokta, which I think she couldn't be here today, and about how everybody is confused about the meaning of contemporary jewelry. And she said really um, a simple but really, really interesting thing, that it is just the most important thing to remember is that the idea behind a piece is always more valuable than a final result. It's about expressing yourself and creating something that speaks to people on a deeper level. That's it. I forgot to tell that something really important, that contemporary jewelry is not about mass production. It's more about making something special in limited edition or as a one-of-a-kind piece. This is also really important to note. So don't forget, if you are in this field, you have to always keep up with what's happening in the world around you. You need to know about new technologies. Like today we are talking about AI. You need to know about social issues, what people like, and the materials are that these days are available, etc., etc. Everything that is new and everything that can be a voice. Let's summarize everything. Like in the aid, we can say contemporary jewelry is like a wearable art that goes beyond the usual rules. It's a new way for the artist and the wearer to connect with creativity and meaning behind each piece. It's a combination of art, fashion, design, architecture, psychology, and many more. Whatever you want. Don't forget this, whatever you want, and this is personal. So now that we understand the concept of contemporary jewelry, I don't know if I explain it well, so you have a basic idea. Nastan will explain why it is important for contemporary designers to engage with digital native artists.
So why is it important anyways for you guys, which I know who are participating from very different backgrounds, to work together? That's the ultimate goal, actually. The reason why we put together this workshop and also the following contest was that we would really like to see you guys from different groups to work together and have results from both of you. Mainly because we really do believe that when you exchange this kind of knowledges that you already know and you already master, we can have super interesting results. As we already know, digital native artists are the ones who are more skilled at using technology, digital tools, and normally they think more towards the digital realm to eventually create their art. They're the ones who understand the digital landscape, and they can really introduce amazing ideas and also techniques to the table. But then on the other hand, contemporary jewelry artists have very strong foundation in traditional and modern craftsmanship. They know materials, conceptual ideas, and also they have a very deep knowledge of jewelry design and all the techniques, aesthetics, and essentially where it comes from. So ultimately, we really think that if these two can like exchange their professions and collaborate, they kind of complete each other. I mean, at the end of the day, injecting technology can really improve like both visually and conceptually like aspects of jewelry design. And by doing this, we can make them more immersive. Either it's for the people who view it, or it's for the ones who are actually wearing it, whether digital or physical. Obviously, this can also contribute to the evolution of contemporary jewelry. As I have my opinion, it's like what's happening at the moment. So if the moment contains technology, I think this is the next step of the evolution of contemporary jewelry as an art form. And so, yeah, we thought that this is the best way to reach to the mass adoption of like this digital realm that we're longing for. So as you can see in the pictures, we have a very popular contemporary jewelry piece by Otto Kunzli, which is super, super famous. And then again, another AI generated piece by us. So what I would like to draw your attention to is the title of the piece in relation to the actual piece. So the piece is called Gold Makes You Blind, and yet in the final piece, we see no evidence of gold in the material. This is exactly what contemporary jewelry is about. It's about very strong concepts and messages, which can eventually like make it super unique. And on the other hand, we have AI generated option, which offers a variety to maybe take overall concepts, which are done traditionally, to next level. So you kind of get an idea about how interesting the results will become by exchanging these knowledges.